Hello. Gonna take you through an instrument I've been working on. This is yet again a revised version of something I made earlier using web MIDI, but this time I've done it using this tiny little, you can barely see it, microcontroller. And I've hooked it up to a selection of launch pads to kind of show off what it can do and talk about what I'd use it for. So this is a Tonnetz kind of arrangement, which is a system that Euler developed, I think, in the 1600s. But it's an arrangement of notes where you can make the same shape, will make the same type of chord anywhere on the system. So they call it isomorphic. So you can move your position around. You don't have to shift positions to make like a G major chord and an A major chord on a guitar are very different. On this instrument, they would be exactly the same. So for example, a major chord, that's C major. And if I want to make D major, I can just go. And if I want to make E major, I need to kind of move around here. F major, G, A, and then A, B, back to C. So this all works because the notes are arranged in kind of an offset. So this first row, let's call that our 0 row. The next row is 4 semitones higher. So you go up 4 semitones. That means you need 3 rows to get an octave higher. And then you go 3 semitones higher for every column to the right. So you end up going every 4 rows, you go up an octave. So you can see. And you can hear that once we start to get to the end of the range, it gets a little crunchy and hard to hear. And that's one of the reasons why I probably am realistically only going to work with 2 of these at once. I wanted to add support for the Launchpad S, and so I got that working, and I figured I'd use that for the demo. Probably what I will do is use one of these and the Launchpad Pro Mark III that I have, which has a little nicer color, and it's a little more reliable. This one has a bad port. So I probably will support all 3 still, but realistically, I'm probably going to only use 2 because you get to a wide range, because you've got 3 octaves left to right and 2 octaves up and down. So you have a range of 5 octaves within 1. Within 2, you have a range of 3 plus 6. So you have about 9 octaves. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 octaves. All right. Anyway, my math is bad, but you get the point. You run out of room to make usable stuff. But as part of getting these things to line up with each other, one of the things I did was make it so that you can adjust the tuning with the arrow pads, so that you can just line up a collection of these. And it doesn't have to be that you're doing them side to side. You can do top and bottom if you wanted to explore it that way. If you want to make it more like these kind of hexagonal arrangements that people do with offset grids, you can just turn the things 45 degrees, and you can make arrangements of them, let's say a triangle, if that was what you wanted to do. And then you could adjust the tuning so that they line up, or you can adjust the tuning so that they're off by an octave or 2, so that you have a low pad and a high pad to cover the whole range. You would still make chords in the overlap. They just might be kind of shifted. Individual notes might be shifted to a different octave. But I wanted to point out a couple fun things that I noticed about this. So you've got up 4 over 3. If you go up 4 and back 1, so 4 minus 3, you can go up to the next note. So you can still play kind of piano style tunes. I'll have to pick a low enough octave. How about this one? And you can see, to go up a full octave, I had to kind of keep following the pattern. And this is one of the reasons that I made it so that any note you hold is, not only is that one highlighted in blue, but anything else that hits the same note is highlighted in blue, so that you can kind of pick up the arrangement and keep going. It's a little funny doing it that way, but you actually can play some pretty basic stuff that way if you wanted to add a little melody. And then I wanted to also point out that because you have going up 1 and over 1 gives you 7, I haven't studied a lot of music, but I have studied mandolin, and mandolin is 7 semitones apart per string. It's not like a guitar where one of the strings is not the same number of semitones apart. They're all the same number of semitones apart. So you can actually do that would be like the open tuning. But if you want to make a chord and you wanted to hold down the second fret of the third string, let's say this is the third string, that would be the second fret, and then this fourth string, this would be the third fret. So if you have to hold down those, I'm going to need another hand for this, but so I can manage it. Anyway, it's not quite as purpose-built for making stringed instrument chords as some of the other work I've done, but I thought it was interesting that just for free, by virtue of using the system, I actually stumbled on making something where you could play mandolin tablature. So anyway, this is one that would take you a while to figure out how to use in performances, but I think it's really fun for figuring out how different arrangements of chords work, and also just for noodling around, because once you figure out a pattern, let's say of arpeggiations through a chord, it's fun. Anyway, I'm gonna let my son have a go at this probably once I take this one out of the loop. This one keeps flaking out, and definitely this one's gonna get a little break again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making this, and I will do another demo when I get it working with the Launchpad Pro Mark III. Anyway, bye.